Welcome to the hottest real estate topics on the planet, keeping you up to date with all the creative ways to buy and sell real estate without bank qualifying, so anyone can build real income starting today. Here is another great show with Dealmaker Bill and Pete the Rookie.
Okay, here we are at another Flipping Houses for Rookies podcast. So I'm Bill the Dealmaker.
I'm Pete the Rookie. This show is about me.
It is?
Well, Flipping House for Rookies.
That's
I'm the
right.
rookie.
There you go. You're the star.
Yeah, no, I'm the guinea pig.
The guinea pig.
I represent all the other guinea pigs out there, rookies, wannabes, and like only wish I could have.
So if somebody wants to ask you a question, what do they do?
Send the email to you.
A rookie answer.
Yeah, I don't have a direct email feed. I don't know if you want that, folks, but if you really do,
you can send us
Pete,
questions.
what's it like working with Bill?
Yeah, exactly. Is he really that way? You can send questions to info@flippinghouses.club. Info@flippinghouses.club. Or if you want to use our old email address, it's flippinghousesforrookies@gmail.com.
Okay.
Either one works.
Okay.
So you can do that. Anyways, Peter, I think we had the show numbers mixed up a little bit, but we're on show number 39 today.
39.
I believe we're on 39.
When we get to 40, you have to have a 40th show anniversary
There you go. Yeah.
dinner.
So the
cigar.
Cigar. The name of today's show is Everyone Can Do It, Not Everyone Will.
Yeah.
So what's it?
Yeah, you can fill anything in there. Sell vitamins, multi-level marketing.
Right.
You know all those things?
Yep.
They all win, they all fail.
Right.
Just is no different.
Right. There's always somebody that does it and somebody that doesn't.
So is it the thing or is it the person?
There you go.
Well, we'll decide by the end of the show today.
I could tell you my secret weapon.
Go.
Why I am where I am, which I don't think is that glorious of a place, but I definitely buy and sell real estate.
I think I know what you're going to say, but I have more polite ways to say. But you start.
Go ahead. Start with the polite way.
You have persistence.
Yes, I have that.
Yeah. You're stubborn.
I'm stubborn.
Yeah, these are good things when you're trying to get something done. What do you call yourself?
A dumbass.
I knew you were going to say that.
I have a very specific methodology on doing things. It's called the dumbass move. Which, by the way, I got that from the 70s show from Red. The dumbass.
Yeah.
I'm going to put my foot up your ass and you're a dumbass. That's what I get out of the 70s
But, Bill,
show.
how dumb can it be if it's working? You're the guy buying the houses, selling the houses, and telling us what to do. How bad can being a dumbass be?
Right. So what happens is when you... we talked about in the last show about thinking, right, and past experiences. So what happens is most people will hear things and come to my courses and come to the live meetup, which is the third Wednesday of every month. Might as well get that out of the way.
Yeah.
128 Center Street in Wallingford. We even had a guy come from all the way from Tennessee. We're going to call him. I haven't heard from him.
Oh, yeah. I haven't had any of the whiskey he left
What's
us.
his name? It's upstairs.
Okay.
What was his name?
John?
I don't remember. I have it written down. We got to call him. We should call him today. Find out what he's up to.
John, if you're listening,
call us. You have my phone number.
Send an email.
I haven't heard from you. Anyways, we had a guy. We're in Connecticut. He came all the way from Tennessee. It was really awesome.
Yeah, he brought us Tennessee whiskey.
Tennessee whiskey.
No, otherwise people come from New York, Massachusetts, maybe Rhode Island. They come from out of state.
Yep. Anyways, so the live meetup is the third Wednesday of every month. If you think I reveal a lot on the podcast when I'm live, it is much more beneficial.
Yeah, I would say you do more how-to. This is like what? You do a little more how-to.
Right. Yeah. And I help a lot of people. I partner with people. I help them with deals. I go out and look at houses. I do all kinds of crazy stuff. And then we have coaching. I have a whole coaching client. We have online stuff. There's a bunch of online courses you can do, all that stuff. Anyways, so my point in telling you all that is that I'll say to you, do this and do that and do this. And it sounds too simple. And you won't do that. Or you'll tell me you understand something. I run into this with you. I run into this with my wife. I run into this with, and it's not anything derogatory against it. It's just that after doing it so many times, I've simplified it so it sounds too simple. And that's the problem, is it sounds too simple. And you don't get it. You think it's harder than that. Mm-hmm. And it's not.
I think we may be thinking past it too. Well, what happens then? What happens then?
Right.
Which you have to prepare for somewhat, but if you don't do step 1, you're not going to get to step 2.
Right.
But I must be a dumbass too.
Good.
Because here I am.
Right. Selling a house.
Yeah. Well, I'm the guy in the room with you, sitting in the car with you, going,
Right.
help me with things as I learn.
Right.
Because that fateful day, 14 months ago now,
Yeah.
when you told me
lost
do this,
track.
do that, I just went and did it.
Right.
You were surprised.
Right. Well, because most people don't do it.
Yeah.
Most people don't do it.
No.
So I say I'm a dumbass because I paid a lot of money for my education. But every time I wrote a check, I did what they told me to do. I didn't think about it. I didn't evaluate it. I didn't put my 2 cents in on it. Like mail out yellow letters and use red ink. I didn't say, I didn't like red ink. I'm going to use blue, or I don't like this word, I'm going to change it. I just did I copied and pasted it.
Yeah.
Now, if I did that several times and it didn't work, that was a different story. But I always gave it my first shot, my best shot, based on what I was told. And I bought my first house and made $68,000, so I must have done something right being a dumbass.
Well, you have to follow instructions.
Yeah.
It's an old joke. A lot of men, they'll put a train set together and they don't follow instructions. Thing goes backwards. Welcome to my life when I was a kid.
Right.
But I've become an educator, and I've learned you follow instructions. I teach music. You follow instructions, and if you do, you get to the end of the road, or you get down the road. So it's to me, it's follow instructions.
Right. Right. So,
happy dumbasses right here.
be a dumbass. Anyways,
makes me money.
That should be the name of one of our shows. How to become a millionaire being a dumbass.
As long as you have the word million in there, I'm a listening.
Yeah. All right. So what I'd like to cover today is we touched upon it last show, show 37, 38, I don't remember which one. The show where we talked about the 7 ways millionaire real estate investors think, which is the show right before this one. We talked about the formula that I use, or the system that I use to get deals, and it's not the steps; it's the methodology that I use. When you understand these 4 steps, you will get a deal. Okay, how you do it is just opinion. Like how I do it, I'm willing to show that to you on our website because it's something you need to study. But why I do it and the way I do it is the reason that we're going to cover today. Okay?
Absolutely.
But I have a disclosure here.
Okay, I'm listening.
You ready?
Yes.
Everyone can do it. Not everybody will.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone can do it. Not everybody will.
That's the disclosure.
That's the disclosure.
Well, it's true.
Because it'll sound too simple. But I'm telling you, if you do these 4 steps, you will buy a house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
What if some people think some of the steps are hard? Or they just, you told me go to the tax office, get a tax list, stuff. But I followed instructions.
Right. Right.
Just, you have to be willing to go do something.
Right. Yeah, so if you do the steps, then it works.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is every step going to be exactly the same? No, but you still got to do the step.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where stubbornness comes in.
You have to walk in someplace, ask questions, look something up, do something.
Well, like for example, when I was being taught by my mentors, I would go in and like you're talking about going to a tax office, right? So I would go in and they would be like, "No, you can't do that." I'm like, "Oh, yes, you can." I believed so much that what the mentor told me that I would actually argue with the official. Well, there is a way to do it because my friend does it. I know there's a way to do it. I mean, my daughter is got a very high IQ. You know her.
Sure.
Like your kids, they got high IQs. You know what I mean? And she'll tell me, "Dad, you can't do it." And my rebuttal to her is, "Well, I've seen it done before. Now what do we do?"
Yeah. So there's dumbasses and smartasses.
Oh no, there's another name of a show.
Write it down.
Pete, you just became number 1 smartass. Anyways, So what I would do is, to my detriment, I would argue with some, not argue, but I would persist, and that's what you were saying before, being stubborn. Because the people that make it, we talked about this in the last meetup, the ones that make it are the stubborn ones, because they're like, no, you don't understand. I know someone that does this. So how do I do it? You know. So, like, for example, I don't know, doing a subject to deal. We talked about that last time, or getting the deed deal. Yeah. You know, and that's a deal where actually someone gives you the deed goes in your name, and the mortgage stays in their name. And you might think, nobody would do that. Well, I'm telling you, my first 30 deals, I've done, I don't even know how many, 40, 50 of them, maybe more. I don't even know.
Yeah.
So what you have to realize is that I'm telling you I've done them. I can give you addresses right now off the top of my head.
Well, if you think of a house as something that makes money and causes aggravation, right? Why don't you just go buy a bunch of houses or apartments and rent them? It's a bunch of aggravation. But there's money. It's too much aggravation, right?
Right.
Well, what if somebody's in that situation? They're making money, but it's too much aggravation.
Right.
What if you take the aggravation out and leave them with the money?
Right.
Well, at least most of it.
Right.
Is it any more simple than that?
Yeah, it's all how you look at it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a point of view.
Yeah.
Right? So however you're viewing it may be or may not be the right one.
Well, I've seen people trying to do something, they just don't know how to do it, and it's just too hard for them. No, here, just do this. Oh, for me it's easy, for them it's hard.
Okay, so I'm gonna let the secret out of the bag why my coaching works so well.
Okay.
There's one reason why my coaching works really well. Which, do you agree, does it work well? I mean,
oh yeah,
the guys are buying houses, right?
Yeah, your calls are fattening. There's more and more people on them the last few weeks, and they're buying houses.
Right. Yeah, it's getting a little. I gotta cap it off because I got too many people on the call, and they need, anyways. So, the success of my coaching comes down to one thing: do the next step, and that's how I coach my people. Right? Because here's what happens: is you'll get a house, somebody will sound motivated on the phone, right? I'll give you a classic example. One of my students will call me up in the beginning, and they'll send me in. They'll say, "I just sent in a prospect suspect form. I need you to take a look at it."
Yep.
This guy is really motivated. Oh my God, I'm going to buy this house, and he wants $160,000, and da 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 da, and they start pitching me on the house, right? First thing I think is, well, first of all, there's only two things that can happen in a sales cycle. Only two things can happen in a sales cycle.
That's what I was thinking.
So if you're buying something from me and I'm selling it to you, there's only two things that can happen in that sales cycle. Either I sell you on my ideas and you say yes, or you sell me on your ideas and I say yes. So let me give you an example. Suppose I'm trying to sell you this bottle of water.
Sure.
And you buy the bottle of water. That means you believe what I told you. Okay. If for some reason you don't buy the bottle of water, that means I believed your excuses for not buying the bottle of water.
Yep.
I fell into your trap of why you shouldn't buy the bottle of water.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So as a salesperson, that's not a good thing because you should constantly believe that bottle of water is the best thing in the world for you. And you need that bottle of water.
That's right.
And if you come off of that, then you're not doing the right thing. You're not doing any justice.
You're getting sold.
You're getting sold.
Okay.
So when I hear somebody call me up and they tell me this, I think, oh, they just got sold.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He got sold. He's trying to sell you.
Right.
He's selling you.
And I'll say it, and I used to say this in the beginning, but now I hurt feelings, so now I don't do it. So I wait till I get on the call. But I would say to them, we really shouldn't do the call. How come? Because the person is motivated to get their price. No. They're only motivated to get what they want, and that's it. They're not a prospect.
Yeah. You can tell they're not flexible.
Yeah. So a prospect, let's just cover that up. A prospect is someone that's flexible and willing to listen to your offer, and it's someone that usually has a house that's the problem. It's in the way and causing a problem, usually. A motivated seller is not someone desperate. That is not a motivated seller. Right. Like, for example, people will go onto the MLS and they'll tell me about all these deals they're going to get, and they think that because the bank took the house back in foreclosure, that they're in a little bit of a destitute situation and that they got to get rid of the house.
Or bank.
Yeah. They got to get rid of the house. Well, I'm going to give them the offer because, I mean, they got to sell the house. I mean, what are they going to do with it? They aren't worried about it. I mean, we'll go over that another day.
That's a whole story.
Yeah, they already made their money on that house. Any money they get is for free. So they're fighting for as much as they can get. So don't think that banks, REO properties, are motivated, because they are not. They are probably the worst suspects on planet Earth.
Sad.
But it's the viewpoint. If you don't understand it, if you don't understand how the system works, then you're going to think that. Right? So they're not motivated. Right? Motivated means that someone has a house that's a problem and they want to relieve themselves of that problem, or they're just willing to listen to your offers and be in conversation with you and at least hear what you have to say. That's a motivated seller. And not be open-minded, but be, have some perspective that it could be a different way.
Okay.
That would be beneficial to them. Right? So that's a motivated seller. So that's important to know, because I'll have students call me up and tell me they got a motivated seller, and what they're really motivated for is their price. So we'll get on the phone, and the guy will be like, "Oh yeah, I need $160,000," and then he'll start pitching me on the house. What a great house it is!
You get the new roof, and you get the new sink over there, and look at the floor.
Put a lot of work into it, and and then you find out, well, he's not willing to come down to 159. Now in some cases I make a lot of money off of those. On a free and clear house, I'll give him the 150. Matter of fact, if he wants 160, I might give him 180.
Yep.
Because he's stuck on price. But I'm going to make my money on cash, because there's only two places to make money on real estate. That's on the equity spread, buy low, sell high, and on cash flow.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only two places. Okay, so if you understand that, then you look for one of those two deals. Okay, these are the simple things that I'm talking about. When I say that to you, that's a simple law. But you'll try to make it complicated in your head. You'll check me to make sure that I'm right, because you'll well, what about this and what about that? What about this?
But
yeah, and you don't just take the information. Now, I'm not saying that I'm smart and I made up. I'm only telling you that I've done. The only reason why I have these datums is because, well, first of all, I can tell you right now, I am more than qualified, and I will sit in any room with anybody in this country, and talk about making offers, because I have personally made over 3,000 offers. Okay, now I know there's a lot of people that there might be some that have made a lot more offers than me. But I will sit in that same room with them, and I will have a more than intelligent conversation with them, because I feel what makes me different is I don't just make offers. It's the word I made up. It's one of the best words in the world that I don't use enough. I'm a dealologist. What does that mean? What does that mean? Ologist means the study of. That means to study or the study of, right? So I study every single deal. I look at the numbers, I look at the renovation, I look at the people, I look at the situation. There are so many factors that I don't even think about. And I study the deal, because the art of the deal is making sure that both people win, that both parties win. And when you can do that, I had a coaching client I was with last night, and they were talking to one of their neighbors, and they wanted me to go do a presentation with them, so we scheduled a presentation. The person canceled because they're afraid of me, or they don't want me to come in the house, or whatever. Whatever it is, and they don't even met me. So then it's just, anyways.
There's crazy bonkers going.
Yeah, it's a free and clear house. The son's a starving artist and living off the mother. He's 30 or 40 years old, and she needs cash, and I don't think she. So they started the conversation with, "Can you buy our house and can we lease it back from you?" Okay. Now, what does that mean to you?
They said, "Can you sell me the house and buy my house and lease it back?"
Right. What does that mean to you?
She wants you to do what she's doing for her son. She wants you to support her so she can support her son. That's what I'm getting out of it.
Okay.
What do you say?
They just want money out of the house. They don't want to sell the house. They need money, and they know there's trapped equity.
They're looking
in the
for
house.
money.
They need cash.
Yeah.
Right. So I sent them in to do the presentation, because we have this whole presentation that we do, a presentation pack and all that kind of stuff. And I don't talk about it because I get too many emails asking me for it. I'm going to tell you right now, the only way you're going to see my presentation pack is to get involved with my coaching group, because I'm not ready to sell it. It costs me way too much money, and it's way too hard to work. It is actually a freaking gold mine. And you know that because you use it. It's amazing.
Oh yeah.
So I sent them in with the presentation pack, right? And they go do their presentation, and they come back, and she sends me a whole email. So I'm with them last night, and they did this on Monday night, and it's Wednesday. I'm talking to them, and I finally just said to her, I said, you know what? I figured out what to do with that deal. She goes, okay, that's what I figured you would do that. But I don't always know it right away. I need to study the deal.
Sure.
That's what the point is. I need to go through some facts. I need to get some information. I need to hear things and see things. And then as I'm going through it, I'm studying the deal. Okay? I'm paying attention. I'm observing. And I'm making sure that I get every little last detail.
Can you tell when you get it? Does it go like ping, I got it? Can you tell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I said to her, I said, you know what I would do with that lady across the street from you? She goes, what? I said, I would march over there tomorrow morning, and I would tell her that you're going to help her. And what that lady should do, she's got a $280,000 house. What she should do is you should call me. I will give you the name of my mortgage agent. She should get a HELOC loan. You know, a
home equity line of credit.
Home equity line of credit, right? And just borrow $50,000. She goes, oh. And then tell her that you will buy the house from her in a year or two when she's ready with the HELOC loan in place. You'll just buy the house with that in place. But you'll help her right now. Get the cash out of her house, because that's what she wants is cash. So get the cash out of the house so she can go do what she's got to do. And when she's done and gets her son handled and all this kind of stuff, you'll be there to pay for the HELOC. You'll buy the house with everything in there.
All right.
And that student was like, oh, my God, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense. I could help her. And she was all excited. Now, did she buy a house?
Not yet.
Do you think that person's going to tell one of her friends what she did for her?
Oh, that's very likely. I've seen that happen. It just happened to us on the house we're selling right now.
That's right. So I said to her, here's what you do. You go over there and you help her, and when you get all done, you tell her, when you get the mortgage and then she's happy and she's all beaming and glowing, you get a testimonial letter from her. And I'll tell you what you got out of the deal, because they're new coaching clients. I'll tell you what you got out of this. The exchange for you is, A, you did your first presentation by yourself. You got a lot of lessons out of that. And B, you'll get a testimonial letter. There's nothing wrong with that.
You know, I think something else might have happened too that you might take for granted because you're you. But I watch people in the coaching group or at meetups and stuff, and sometimes I can just sense that the person, no names mentioned, is just looking for themselves. They're looking out for their end. I want to make some money. How am I going to make some money?
Right.
It doesn't work that way. The only reason you get things done is because you think of the other person's need.
Right.
Because your need follows that. And people don't think like that when they're greedy for money.
Right.
This isn't greed for money.
Let me introduce you to my little friend. Karma.
My dog?
Yeah, that's a dog's name.
She's a female, so you can imagine the next sentence I'm not going to say. But you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I've watched some of your coaching clients, and I'm not sure who has it and doesn't have that concept. But I remember even more earlier on, people not getting that, and you saying enough, like maybe they got it now. I got it. I mean, that's more natural for me. I think that way anyways.
Right.
But you have to have that viewpoint. So they got that out of it too. If nothing else, like, wait a minute. You made me help the person without getting anything from me.
Right.
Cash. Yeah. Because that was the right thing to do.
Right.
Because that's what you do.
Right. And it's an ethics point. And what happens is they will tell their friends about that, because how many people would do that for them? Yeah. You know, I could tell you right now, some of the closest people in my life are people that will and have helped me when I needed it the most. Some of the ones, like for example, we're dealing with a painter.
Yeah.
And I don't feel like he's helping me.
Yeah.
I feel like he's on my side. He doesn't have my back covered.
Yeah.
You know? Even if he does the wrong thing, at least I know his intentions are right.
Yeah.
I don't feel like they're there.
That's what's going on. I've been watching the same person.
All right, good. So let's go over this little system that I got, okay?
Yes.
We were
There's a
supposed to do
system?
that 20 minutes ago.
What's the title of the show? Where am I?
Everyone can do it. Not everyone will.
Okay.
So you got to do these 4 things, and we're going to talk about them a little bit, each one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to rattle them off first,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're going to come back and cover them. Okay? So the first thing you need to do is find a way to communicate to a motivated seller. Okay?
Comprehend.
2, make you and your services known and create expectation to the seller.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Number 3, figure out what is needed and wanted while building rapport, value, trust with the seller. How do you do that?
I don't know. You're asking a lot here,
Yeah.
We're mere mortals here.
Number 4, then simply produce or present it so they can have it while making them a fan.
Wow. Man, you're asking a lot there.
So the first thing we do is I preach. Now let's just break them down. I preach heavily that I could teach you. I can give you a marketing degree right now. You want it?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You ready?
Yeah.
Let's go to the Bill's School of Marketing. Okay, you know this. You have 90% of your marketing skills. Match your message to your market. You do that, and you strike gold.
So you need to know what the market wants.
Yeah. Or find the market that has what you sell. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I had a crowd of people that hadn't eaten for 3 days, and I sold them hamburgers, or let's say there's hot dogs, right? Now I pick hot dogs because I know that you only eat certain kind of hot dogs and health food and all this kind of stuff, right?
Fussy.
But if you hadn't eaten for 3 days, would you eat that hot dog?
I ate them at Woodstock.
Yeah. See what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if it's organic or if it's grass-fed or see, you're motivated.
Yes, it's a lesser of evils. I mean, if anything, it's just a lesser of evils.
Right.
And if a person's got a situation with a house, maybe it's just lesser of evils. He's not going to get a perfect, exactly what he wants, but you're going to sit there with a problem over and over and get really messed up and big trouble,
right?
Or just take the best way out.
So obviously, I have a bunch of ways that I figured out how to do this. I go over them. We just did this last month at the meetup. Go on the website. We'll have some stuff on there. Send me go to flippinghouses.club. Send me a support ticket. We'll help you with all that stuff. Okay. So, but the first thing is to find a way to communicate to a motivated seller. Because at the end of the day, Pete, here's one of those. Now this is too simple, right? But at the end of the day, what's the only way you're going to make money in real estate?
Well, the step before getting the house is make an offer.
Right. You have to make an offer on a house. I've never bought a house without making an offer.
Mm-hmm.
Never. So why not?
How would it?
So why not make it even better? Make it one step further. Make an offer to a motivated seller.
Oh, yeah.
Just do that enough times, you'll buy a house. Don't overcomplicate it. Don't worry about which 7 steps. Even if you make the wrong offer, does it matter?
Not till you actually execute it, right?
Exactly. The offer is just the offer. Could you change your mind? Of course.
Yeah.
We do it with the MLS all the time. You put a bid in on a house. You say it's a contingent upon the inspection. You walk around the house and say, I don't like the roof. I'm not going to do it.
Yep.
Still put the offer in. You didn't sign the closing documents.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Sure. You can always back out.
Exactly.
Or adjust, refine. I mean, when your students had a house that had some real problems in it, so she went back with, look, there's some real problems. Here's the new number. They took it.
Right.
She pointed out
right.
situations that maybe weren't evident.
I had a house in East Hartford. I don't know, it just popped in my head. I bought the house for like $52,000.
Yeah.
And I walked around the house and it had asbestos in it. And I ended up back, which I don't do very often. In fact, it was probably one of the few times I did it. I made an offer of $51,000 or $52,000.
Yeah. And
I went back and said to the guy, I can't do it. What do you mean? It's got asbestos. Okay, I paid $43,000 for the house. But he bought it. I mean, he knew it had asbestos.
Yeah.
It wasn't a secret.
Mm-hmm.
I missed it.
Oh.
but the first.
And he didn't tell you?
Yeah. All right.
By the way, you should offer me less for the house because that's asbestos.
Yeah.
They don't do that?
No. So the first step is find a way to communicate to a motivated seller. However that may be. That might be bandit signs, that might be direct mail, that might be postcards, that may be, I don't know, whatever your area warrants. We did it's not up online yet, but I did the last meetup, I went over 30 different ways to do that. 30 different ways to do that.
Yep.
And some of them, you know what the problem is with marketing?
Well,
I'll tell you what the problem is with marketing. Has nothing to do with what your market wants. It's what you like as the marketer.
you know, I was just going to say, pick the ones you want, but you should pick the ones that might work, but you're not going to do something you hate because you just won't do it.
Right.
Does it matter?
Well, then find somebody that can.
Yeah, but I mean, does it matter if there's a list of 30, you pick 4 or 5, would they work?
Yeah, they would work, but some work better than others.
Okay.
You know, like business cards and bandit signs are 2 different things.
Yeah.
You may not want to go put out bandit signs. Well, then figure out how to put out bandit signs. Because here's what I find lately in my life. Most people do what they like to do. They choose what they want to do.
Mm.
And that's a myth. Because sometimes you just got to you got to do what needs to be done to get the result. See, if you have a desired result that you're trying to attain, and you're doing something that you think you can do, the things you like to do, and you're not getting the result, it might be because you just got to do what you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for example, I may not like to go out on Thursday nights and put my bandit signs out.
Yep.
Right? I just may hate to do that. But if I want to buy a house, that's my number one way of getting leads,
Mm-hmm.
I need to just, it doesn't matter whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
I like cashing the checks when I buy the houses.
Yeah, so it has a balance.
So at that particular point, it doesn't matter whether I like it or not. If I want to buy houses, I know that's what I got to do.
A man's got to do what
That's
a
right.
man's got to do.
Exactly.
I mean, how many athletes loves crunches
No.
and exercise
Right.
and labs and weights?
Right.
They don't.
Right.
But that you don't do that, you don't get in.
Right. So that's important. So find a way to communicate to a motivated seller. That's number one. Okay. Number two. Okay. So basically, number one is getting mail out or getting a communication to the people, to the right market.
Mm-hmm.
Let them know that you're here. Right. So number two is make your service known and create expectation to that seller.
How is that different than one?
Okay, so the first one is you're going to find them.
Oh, that's like sending out the data.
So let's just say we do direct mail.
Yeah.
So the first one would be mailing our direct mail.
Okay.
Okay. Now the second one is make you and your service known and create expectation to that seller. So when they call in, we talk about the prospect suspect form,
that's
right?
when I call them back or they call me. That's when we talk to them. Okay.
So now what happens is a couple things happen here. We use recorded messages, free recorded messages. So they may call in like, well, I don't do that in direct mail. Direct mail, they actually talk to a person, either my live operator or us.
Right.
Anything else like signs and postcards and all that kind of stuff go back to actually, believe it or not, a 6-minute recorded message.
Yeah.
And they listen to what we do, and I pre-qualify them to make sure that I want to talk to them because I don't want suspects. I mean, I'm going to get them anyways, but I want to weed them out quickly. If they're just calling up to bitch at me because I put a sign in their front lawn, I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They can just figure out what we're doing. They can do it another way. Okay? So, and we have had that happen. Okay? So basically, when they call in, I'm going to make myself known to them, and I'm going to create an expectation for them that I can solve their problem.
Yeah, because they're going to get the wrong impression. Oh, you're a real estate guy. You just want to
Right.
rob my house. They'll have some wrong.
Actually, I think I'm going to put that in there, an expectation that I can solve their problem. Because I think that's more what it means.
At a fair price.
Yeah.
No, seriously, the house we're selling right now, the lady said, when I first heard you were coming, I thought you're probably going to just give me a really low offer, and
Yep.
I wasn't expecting this at all.
Right.
But, what do people expect? Something bad.
Right. So they listen to the free recorded message, right? Some of them go to the live operator.
Yeah.
In any event, once they get through that hurdle, sooner or later they're going to get to us, right? So, well, let me just explain this. So they listen to a free recorded message. They can dial 6 on my system, right? And they can talk to my operator.
Yeah.
Okay. The operator asks 6 or 8 questions.
Mm-hmm.
The operator then emails that to me, and then I call them back, and I do the prospect suspect form.
Right.
By the time they listen to the free recorded message, they talk to the operator, and they go through the prospect suspect form. They know what I can do.
Well, they have some belief in it because there was an actual recorded message. There's a lot, just that. It just dawned on me. When I first started, I just had the calls come to me because I needed to practice, come straight to me.
Right.
But by going through a few things like that, it adds an air of business.
That's right. Value.
Yeah, like, well, these they spent money on the thing. They have a
Right.
service. They're spending money there, so they have money.
Right.
They can't be complete flops. They must be somewhat successful to have money to pay for this, that, and the other. So it builds some confidence at least, if
Authority.
nothing else.
Authority, yeah.
Cool. I hadn't thought of that. You have an image that you're creating.
Right. So step 2 is make you and your services known and create expectation to that seller.
So you're kind of telling that I could buy your house. I'll have to come look at it, but I could buy your house.
Okay, so let's
You're
get real
thinking that.
simple because I like simple. What is the only thing a seller wants
An offer.
in the beginning?
An offer.
Right.
I'm
He
getting
wants
used-
to sell
I'm getting
his
used to your
house.
questions. An offer.
Yeah. So he wants to sell his house, but
Yeah.
before he can sell his house, what does he want? He wants to know who's the highest price, right?
Yeah.
Or what's the best deal.
Yeah.
So when they call, you meet anybody that has a house for sale, the first thing they want is an offer.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So in my particular case, I don't give my offer until I get what I want, which is usually all the information so I can make the offer, which is the prospect suspect form. Right?
Sure.
Which, by the way, if the listeners want to have the prospect suspect form, I uploaded it. You can get it for free. Imagine that. I put it for free.
Bill, that cost me $40.
Yeah, exactly. If you upload it, you can get it for free on flippinghouses.club/podcast. On the right side, there's a link that says prospect suspect form. Okay, so you can go download it and you can know exactly what I'm talking about. So it's Flipping Houses for Rookie. No, it's flippinghouses.club. flippinghouses.club/podcast. Okay? And you can get it. So now you fill out the prospect suspect form. Now they know between your recording, between the operator, and you talking to them what you can or can't do.
Okay. You sound professional by now.
Yep.
Good.
Step 3.
Mm-hmm.
Figure out what is needed and wanted while building rapport, value, trust with that seller.
Now, is this still on the phone or is this in the house?
This is where we do our presentation.
Okay. So you get enough data in the house with the presentation to really find out.
So the presentation that we do, now think about the presentation that we use. What does it do?
Well, it does a few things.
Does it build rapport?
Absolutely.
Does it build value?
Yeah.
Does it build trust?
Absolutely.
So there you go.
Yeah.
So the presentation pack that we use, okay, which the only way you're going to get that is become a coaching client. I've already said that. So it's kind of a dirty, rotten trick to the listeners. But just realize I developed it so they can too. But anyways, if you want it, just go. We'll talk. Just go into support, flippinghouses.club support.
Mm-hmm.
But the presentation that we use or the presentation that we give, now this is making the offer. The way we make the offer is building rapport, value, and trust. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then at the end of the day, what do? We use the cost to sell worksheet. And what do? After we do the presentation, what do?
Well, they find out what they could actually expect to get when they sell the house with all the expenses included that they never really find out about. They know the actual number that they could expect to get.
So isn't that an offer to us?
Yeah, that's our number. Or
So
at least our starting point.
If somebody sat down, now picture this. This is my wife used this word last night, an anomaly.
An anomaly, yeah.
Anomaly. Okay.
Anomaly, yeah. Which
So-
means,
Go ahead. What does it mean?
if I remember correctly, it means something that's different than usual.
It's an unusual circumstance.
Yeah.
It's
It's not the usual that
not
happens
normal.
every day.
It just kind of like happened.
Bill, You're an anomaly.
Oh, thanks. Is that a compliment or no? I don't know what that is.
If you do good, it's a good thing. If you do bad, it's a bad one. There's good and bad.
Here's the anomaly. Anomaly. How does it say?
Anomaly.
Anomaly. Here it is. You're gonna look at me with a blank stare. Now remember what I told you.
Okay, I'll do it for you.
The simple things in life are the ones that get overlooked,
And the most powerful.
and they're and they stay the longest.
Yeah.
They're the most persistent.
Are they the truest?
Yeah.
That's it.
Here we go. I don't think I've ever met anybody until I devised this that actually sits down with a person in a consultation and explains to them how they're going to sell their house and how much money they're going to get and how much it's all going to work before they get involved. Realtors don't do that. See, a realtor, and I'm not bashing realtors, it's the system. A realtor gets paid on the commission is paid on the gross sales. I'll list your house for $190,000. I'll sell it, and they'll sell it for $180,000. They get paid a percentage of the $180,000.
Yep.
That leaves the seller in the dust on their net number because they don't know how much their net number is.
Yeah.
The attorney just gets we're in a judicial state. The attorney or the what do you call it? The the title company, the closing agent will get their fee.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
The mortgage company gets their money.
The state and city get their
they get their conveyance tax. Then you get the property tax people get paid. The utilities get paid.
I still want to see one of these houses conveyed because they never move when I'm looking at them.
Right. Well, it's not the house that's getting conveyed; it's the deed. The ownership's getting conveyed.
Okay, I feel better now.
Okay, so everybody you know what everybody else's fee is. You know what everybody else is getting paid because they all tell you this is how much I want. How come you don't know how much you get paid before you do it?
Yeah.
So when you say I want to sell my house, how come you don't know how much you're going to get paid? You should at least have an idea. Now, will it be to the penny? No, but if you think you're getting a check for $37,000, you get a check for $33,000. It's not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if you think you're getting a check for $60,000 and you're getting a check for $33,000, that's horrible.
Yeah. Well, they don't really know.
That's right.
No, well, you're right. No one ever explains that.
So nobody sits down with these people and explain to them the process and the cost involved to sell a house. So when we sit down with someone, that's what we're doing. And by doing that, we build rapport, value, and trust.
That is really valuable. The people don't like the number that they see at the end because it's less than they thought.
Right.
But they know it's the real number because they did the math.
And then what we do is we actually have them do it themselves. That's what you just said. They do the math.
Yeah.
So we don't do it. We don't care what number. Suppose it's we think it's a $250,000 house, and they say they want $260,000. Then they use $260,000. It's okay. Because at the end of the day, they're going to realize how because see, here's the thing: if they use $250,000 or $260,000, everything we're doing is off of a percentage.
Yeah.
So it raises the cost. So
it raises the what?
The cost.
You mean the $260,000?
You missed it. Yeah. So if you're doing the math on $250,000,
yeah,
and they say the house is worth $260,000, so now when you do 3% times $250,000,
yeah.
So the extra $10,000.
Well,
that doesn't make
that gets whittled down with all the percenentages anyway.
That's what I'm saying. It's
it
all
could be
percentage.
$2,000-$3,000 more or less. It's not a big deal to us. It's
So
not $10,000 off because it's all getting whittled down, including that.
Because it's all done. Because the numbers we use is all off a percentage. So if they use a higher number that the house is not worth that much money, at the end of the day, it's going to come back down to where it should be pretty close, anyways.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. It's an anomaly.
Yeah,
I'm saying that word right. It's a freak.
The word today is
it's a freak because nobody does that. So all we have to do is go out and do our presentation and we're not making the offer. They're making the offer to us. The reason why is because if you do the cost to sell worksheet with them and you go through all the expenses and they do the worksheet and they have the calculator and they got a pen and they get down to the bottom line and it says how much equity or how much profit is in this house for you and they say it's got $28,000 because they figured out the expenses, what did they just do? They just said to you, if you give me $28,000 right now, you can buy my house.
That's what they're going to get anyway.
Because that's what they're going to get if they go to a sale. All I'm doing is just telling them, okay.
Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. If they do it their way, they'll get the $28,000 after 6, 8, 9 months and all the aggravation.
Right.
We do it without the aggravation.
We do it right there when we're sitting in front of them. It's done today or tomorrow or next week.
Yeah.
Here's the amazing
Clear
thing.
your house out for you, all that stuff.
Here's another anomaly. Here's another anomaly. I got to get that word straight. Because I'm telling you, it's too simple. And when you think about it, now we're on Bill's Planet right now. Today's show is all about Bill's Planet, okay? Just keep it simple. Because I told you, I'm a dumbass. I want to keep it simple. The KISS system. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
Okay? It just works that way for me. Okay? Wouldn't it make sense that the only negotiation you do with somebody is on their own money? In other words, do you think I should be negotiating? I mean, people do this, but should I be negotiating? I mean, last show, I think you told me you had $100 in your wallet. Mm-hmm. Okay, should I negotiate your $100 for you? Wouldn't it be better if you negotiated the $100?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good, because you own the $100, right? It's your $100.
Yeah, I should decide how I'm going to spend it, what I'm doing with it.
Exactly. So when you make an offer on a house, why are you not negotiating just that? In other words, if I say to you, I'll give you $160,000, and you're negotiating $160,000, really what you're doing is you're negotiating the bank loan, the tax man, the lawyer, the realtor fee, all that stuff is in there. So you're negotiating for everybody. Mm-hmm. So when you say to the seller, I'll give you $170,000, and he says, well, I don't know. I don't think I can do that. I really need $180,000. He's negotiating for the whole team. He's the least knowledgeable on how to negotiate. He's the least able to do the negotiating.
So he's negotiating gross when all that he winds up with is net in the end, the net proceeds.
He's negotiating gross to get a net profit.
Which he doesn't know what it is.
He doesn't know what it is.
So
it's a mystery.
That must be why it's so hard for people to do the gross number. I want this, I want that. They don't know what they're going to get, so they keep
They're
arguing
just
about
trying to get as much money as they can because they don't know any different.
Wow.
So the only common ground they have is the gross number.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it's gross. There's a pun for you. It's a gross number and it's gross, okay? So bottom line is, why not show them what their net proceeds are? Because if they owe $150,000 to the bank, they aren't going to negotiate that number unless they do a short sale or walk away, which most people don't want to do. So they have to pay $150,000. That's not negotiable.
Yep.
They got to pay the conveyance tax. It's 1%. That's not negotiable. They have to pay the realtor fee of 5 or 6%. That's not negotiable, or not usually. It's not very much, anyways.
No, they're not giving it away.
They have to pay the lawyer's fees. That's not negotiable. They have to, you understand? So they have closing costs, and there's going to have to be repairs, and that's all not negotiable, or to any major degree. The only thing that's really negotiable is what their net proceeds.
Their equity, their profit, whatever you want. You've probably said this a number of times. I think I finally got that about a month ago.
Okay.
I think, like, my mind is following down the steps. My mind is at that step finally. But that's the only thing that there really is. In the end, that's what he has.
That's what he cares about. When he walks away from the closing table, that's what he gets.
Yeah.
Or she gets.
Everything else is all the other commotion.
So let me ask you a question. Are you a lawyer?
No, sir.
How many years did you go to law school?
I thought about it when I was a kid, and I changed my mind, so 0.
So if you were a lawyer, why am I negotiating your fee? I'm not a lawyer. I don't know what's involved. How can I negotiate your fee? I don't know what's involved.
Yeah. You can't negotiate it. He's going to charge it. You want to argue with the lawyer?
Right. So are you a mortgage-based person?
Nope.
Okay, so I don't know anything about mortgages other than this is how much I got to pay.
Yeah.
So why am I negotiating your number, which is the payoff on the loan that you sold me? Why am I negotiating that?
You can't.
Doesn't make sense to me. Why do we do this?
All people talk about is the number. You look at on the internet, all the different sites, all you see is the number.
Right. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
So why not sit down with the person and educate them on what the sale is going to be like and how much it's going to cost them, and give them the whole enchilada? Do you know how appreciative they are of that?
They are.
Because nobody, there is not, Pete, you're the one that made me, you're the one that provoked this. You know that, don't you? You want to know why?
What did I do?
We don't have a name.
Huh?
We don't have a name.
To what we are?
To what we are. We're professional home buyers, right?
Yeah.
But that's not good enough. It's not like realtor. We don't have a name. Our profession does not have a good, healthy name yet.
Yeah. Investor is completely wrong.
That's right.
Because we don't put the money in. We put the deals together. Someone else puts the money in because they don't know how to do the deals.
Right.
So that's right. I had a business card years ago. And I looked at it. That's not right.
Ron LeGrand had it probably the closest. Transactional engineers.
Oh, okay.
That's
not very sexy.
Yeah, right? So there's just not a name. And someday maybe we'll come up with it, maybe we won't. But the truth of the matter is, prior to 1950, okay, there weren't realtors on the scene.
That still blows my mind.
Okay. So realtors came along in the 50s. Okay. Most people don't know that. So what the hell did we do all those thousands of years prior to that? How did we buy and sell real estate? Because it was happening.
Through the barber?
Yeah, evidently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was two people. You know, I wanted your land. You wanted to sell it to me. And we would, you know, I'll give you 3 chickens and 2 eggs every day or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, and then we would somehow or another consummate the deal, you know, with some whatever. Half of us couldn't.
Was it spit in a handshake?
Yeah, evidently, because half of us probably couldn't read and write back then, you know, on the wild range. I mean, have you seen movies where they actually, back in the 1800s, where they would actually have like contest, or not contest, but people would come to a certain spot.
The races?
No.
What?
And they would stand at a start-finish line, and they would run, and they would go claim their land or stake their land.
Like they just all run, like far and away.
I mean,
the movie.
Imagine doing that now. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's how it was done back then.
Yeah, claim your spot. Boom.
So for the last 60 years or 70 years, we've gotten so far off of the basics that we're being idiots. We don't even know how to negotiate. It's like stupid. You don't know. I want 2 eggs and 3 chickens.
No, you're leaving everything else up to middlemen.
Yeah.
Agents. I sell music lessons, right?
Right.
I have middlemen.
Yeah.
You go online, and there's a guy in Texas, there's a guy in San Francisco, and I get an email. You have a student coming Thursday.
Yeah.
Send me 40%.
Yeah.
Oh no, they send me 60. Click.
Yeah.
Why do I need a middleman?
Right.
I can make my own deals. You call me.
Right.
But that's what the world has gotten like.
Right.
Everybody's in the middle because nobody knows how to do anything for themselves anymore.
So to the point, we actually sit down with the person. We care enough about them to show them the process, show them what's going to happen, show them how they're going to make their money, show them how it's going to happen, give them the steps in the procedure, the outline of how it's all going to break down. That takes 60 to 90 minutes to do. And when you get to the end, the person's going to say, oh, I have $28,000 worth of equity. And you look
No, they're going to say,
yeah,
I got $28,000. 28?
Yeah, I thought it was 50.
But the thing is, they're mad, but not at us.
No.
They're like, thank you so much for pointing this out to me. They're not sure who to be mad at.
I had no idea.
Yeah, but they don't know who to be mad at.
All right, so they got $28,000 worth of equity.
Yep.
So I say to them, so, Mr. Seller, if I were to give you the $28,000 today, would you agree that I'm paying full list price for the house?
Wow. What can he say?
He says, yes. And I look at them and I say, but I'm an investor. What can we do? And they give me a number. Then I take one of the 7 ways that I've taught everybody. Go online, flippinghouses.club. There they are.
Yep.
They're going to be there much longer, but there they are.
There they are.
Right? And I figure out which one of those I use to pay the money. Do they want the money today? Okay, that's step number 5. Flipping, using cash.
Oh, right.
Okay. They want too much money. So, okay, I'll do a slot deal because they owe too much money.
Yep.
So I do a slot deal. Right? They owe 85% loan to value. The number is 85% loan to value, so I'll do a lease option with them. I just got to figure out how am I going to pay that money? And
Right.
when am I going to give it to them?
Right.
Am I going to make it in payments? Am I going to give it to them now? How do I do it?
Yeah.
Are they willing to write a note because it's free and clear and it's owner financing? How do I do it?
And part of it is if they need money right now or if they can wait.
Yep. Right. And that's all.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So step number 3, figure out what is needed and wanted while building rapport, value, trust with that seller.
If this sounds complicated, you might miss brilliant comebacks that Bill has, because I don't have the comebacks. If somebody asks questions, you might not have everything, but you don't have to have everything. You got to be close enough.
Right.
And people are actually not fighting you on this.
No.
You know, my wife says, "Look out, there's a car coming." I said, "They don't want to hit me."
Right.
The other guy doesn't want. They're on your side trying to get someplace as well. If you explain that you're trying to get them there, so they'll actually kind of cooperate with you and help you too.
Well, they'll sit with you for 60 or 90 minutes. That's why you want to talk to a motivated seller, so you can sit down and explain this to them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The other people, the suspects, they're arrogant assholes as far as I'm concerned. They think that they're know best. They think they know everything about the sale.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're not willing to listen. So that's fine. I don't want to talk to those people.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now let's go through them again. Number 1, find a way to communicate to a motivated seller.
Right.
Number 2, make you and your services known and create expectation to that seller. We do that with the free recorded messages, with the operator, and the prospect suspect form.
Right.
Number 3, we go into the house and we make an offer with our presentation pack, and we figure out what is needed and wanted while building rapport, value, trust with that seller. So at the end, they figure out what their net number is. They make us the offer. Step number 4, the last step, simply produce and present it so they can have it while making them a fan.
So you just follow through.
So you just say, okay, so you want $28,000. Here's how I can do it. Here's what I can do for you. And just present it as they want it. Because what did I say in the beginning? The best marketing tool is to match your message with your market. Mm-hmm. It's the same way with the offer. Just match it to what they want.
Yeah. You have to listen.
Match it to what they want. But the way we use the system, it does it for you.
Yeah.
Do you see?
Yeah.
Now, why do I put make them a fan at the end?
My take on that is if you do this correctly, they will be happy with the offer because they see that it's the best thing they can possibly get, and they think you're the best.
I agree with that, but that's not why I put it there.
Go ahead.
Does everybody say yes?
No.
So what do we do with the ones that don't say yes?
We'll at least make them like us so that if we don't help them, they'll refer us to somebody else.
Okay.
Which happened.
That's correct. That does happen.
Am I still missing it?
Yep.
Okay, I got 2 strikes.
Okay, good. You want to go for another one?
No.
Okay,
no.
Good. So when I make an offer, until that house is sold, what do I have a chance to do?
You might lose it?
No. And when I make an offer, until that house is sold, what can I always do?
Change offer?
Right. So I can continuously make offers, right?
Okay.
Okay, good.
Is that if they accept it or don't accept it?
Doesn't matter until the house is sold.
Could you change an offer you made?
Yeah.
I guess.
So until that house is sold, what are they going to continually do? Get offers.
They're looking for offers. And if they don't like other ones, they'll come back to you or reconsider.
Exactly, which is what we call follow-up.
Yeah.
So you want to make them a fan so that even though your offer may not be good, time changes everything.
Mm-hmm.
So in like I tell the story about me and the guy that I did an offer to, and he was like, "Oh, what are you, crazy? I can't do that.
Get out of my house."
Yeah. 3 months later or 2 months later, he's blowing up my phone 20 times in a day because he found his wife in bed with his best friend on a Friday night, and they're getting divorced.
No names.
Right. So time changes everything.
Yeah.
But if you made them a fan,
and he wasn't even a fan at that time.
Okay.
But close enough that he called you.
Okay, so I don't know anything about sports. Okay, but I go to a smoke shop and they know a lot about sports. I mean, we have NFL football players that come to the smoke shop. I mean, these guys know sports.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what I learned. In that room, almost every guy in that room, and there's probably a dozen or so, they all have their team. They all have their team. Now, whether their team wins or loses, what do they do for them?
They still root them on.
Right.
They still cheer them on.
So whether my client buys, either whether my client sells for me or doesn't sell to me, let me do that again. If the client sells to me or doesn't sell to me, what do I want them to do?
At least be a fan and support you or consider
There
you.
you go. There you go.
Yeah.
And if you do what we're showing them by helping them so much with the presentation pack, we make them a fan.
Yeah.
So even though they may not need it, they might tell their friend, just like how we bought Newington.
Well, absolutely. If you're not a fan at the end of this, you did it wrong.
Yeah.
Because if you're making people unhappy with you, you're doing the wrong thing.
Right.
You got to keep the right viewpoint of helping the other guy, because you can't help him unless I've told those people on the phone, I can't buy your house unless I find a way to help you.
Right.
It might be different what people think, but I have to find a way to help you, or you're not going to sell me your house. I will try.
Right.
Okay, come on over.
So the presentation pack goes through and it shows them exactly how the sale is going to go, within enough guidance that even if things aren't exactly this, each step, but it's going to show them what they're going to run into.
Yeah.
So it's what we call a consultative sell.
Mm-hmm.
It's a consultative presentation.
You're consulting their
We're consulting
understanding
them because here's the deal, and I talk about this all the time, and this is where we're going to end the show. Right? I say to you that my coaching is simple. Why is it simple? Because I say do the next step.
Yeah.
Here's what I find always, always, always find with the new guys. They get a phone call. They make an offer on the phone.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
How do they do that?
Oh, by asking what they're... No, I don't know. What?
It's out gradient. It's the wrong step at the wrong time.
I mean, they really make an offer?
Yeah, people...
Oh, I didn't... Wow. I didn't realize they were doing that. I didn't notice that.
They'll make offers.
I don't do that. Yikes.
So where does the offer happen? At the end of your presentation. If you don't do the steps the way I'm telling you don't find a motivated seller, find a way to communicate to a motivated seller. That's step one. Step two, make you and your services known and create expectation to that seller. If you don't do that, then you can't do step three, which is figure out what is needed and wanted while building rapport, value, trust with that seller.
Yeah.
Until you've done those three, you have no right making an offer. And if you do, you're going to get more no's than yes.
Yeah.
That's the guy that's on the MLS just firing out offers, and that's where Kiyosaki says he's got to make 100 offers before he buys a house because he's not doing the underlying three. That's all it is. You're just hunting for a needle in a haystack. But if you do these steps, and you do them sequentially, and do them correctly, you will buy a house. May not be today, may not be tomorrow, but you will make a house. So because my little saying is, an offer a day keeps debt away.
Okay.
So find a place to make an offer, and you need to do these three things to make the offer.
Yeah.
So that's why I say everyone can do it, but not many will. Because it's really that simple. At the end of the day, it's just that simple.
Yeah.
So what do you need to figure out? Figure out how to find a communicated, motivated seller. Right? You come to a guy like me, I show you how to do that.
Yep.
Just follow along step by step. Okay? Then you need to figure out how do you set up your answering service, and we'll show you how to do that. But the point is it's not rocket science. It's not like we reinvented the wheel. These are things that you can do online.
I set up a voice message thing myself once. You
Exactly.
had your own, so I didn't have to use it, but I had one going.
Yeah. Right? Then you need to, put together a presentation, a PowerPoint presentation, however you want to do it. Even if it's just notes and you talk about the same thing. I mean, I do that. Sometimes I'll go in without PowerPoint presentation. And we do it with a flip chart.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But all that does is guide you. As long as you cover all the steps. I don't care how you do it, just cover all the steps. And show them how the process is going to work. Because that is exchange in abundance right there. Sitting down with someone and showing them what it's going to cost them and how their sale of their house is going to go, and educate them so that they can make a conscious decision. Because honestly, Pete, honest to God, until we finish that presentation, he and I are not on the same page. It's like the lion and the mouse. He wants 100. I want to pay 50. Let's do tug of war. But if I show him my presentation and I go over with him, he's like, oh, yeah. Now he might be at 65 and I'm at 50.
Yeah, but it's the truth.
It's how it really works every single day, every single closing.
Yeah, these
Doesn't matter what city you're in. If you're in America, this is how it works.
Yep. And they just don't know it.
Right. So all we're doing is taking them through the steps and teaching them. It is freaking amazing. I don't think there's been a time where I've done this presentation, unless I screwed it up, which I've done that too, where we've done this presentation where people don't thank us at the end. And
Right.
they just applaud us.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. They're obviously disappointed in the number, but it's not at us. They're really
Right.
appreciative that they have the right data. They go, why didn't they tell me? Why didn't they? Well, who's going to tell you?
And the time they spent with us was well deserved. And we built rapport, value, and trust in what we do. And I'm standing up preaching right now because I don't know anybody that does what we do. I don't know anybody that has this stuff. I've never heard of this stuff before.
I've never seen it.
And I don't even know how I figured it out, but I did.
Mm-hmm.
And well, you're a big help because we talk about a lot of stuff, and helping my clients, and But I don't know if I just this podcast alone, just to listen to this podcast, it should not. This is not free information. This is like coaching stuff. This is what we do on coaching calls.
Yep.
This is like real deal stuff. I shouldn't be doing this over the air.
But not everybody will do it, Bill.
Not everybody will do it. I give you the information, and it might go right over your head. You just might be glib on it. Just may not get it.
There's a number of reasons it won't happen, but me personally, I was motivated that I had to do it. I just wanted it so much. I didn't care what happened. I don't care if it hurt. I don't care if it was uncomfortable. I don't care if it was unfamiliar to me. It didn't matter.
Yep.
I knew where I wanted to go with this, and I'm getting there. Yep. So you have to be motivated.
Yep.
This isn't just a toy.
Yep.
And it's an actual subject. To me, it's the more I learn, like, I'll just go buy a house and fix it and sell it, make a bunch of money.
No.
Okay, good luck. I mean, you might be able to do that. You might not make a lot of money, but to do it right and to understand the business and all the intricacies, to me, it's an amazing subject.
Right.
It's an actual subject. They should teach this in school.
Right.
They won't.
No. Okay, so we're at the end of the show.
So we can stop now?
Get off my little stool here.
You should see him. He's on
Put away my
this
collar.
2-foot podium here.
Put away my collar. No disrespect meant there at all. All right, so there's a lot to think here. If I was the listeners, I would probably listen to this show a couple times because, honest to God, this was like a coaching session. I mean, we go through some of this stuff. I have mastermind groups that we do one-day Saturdays, and this is stuff we cover in a mastermind group. I've covered this in paid seminars. I mean, people paid $100, $200 to come to some of these seminars.
And even that's crazy.
Yep. What do you mean?
Well, it's just low.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to what other people charge. But you and I are trying to do this different. I don't know if it's your idea or my idea, but we think it makes more sense to teach people step by step, not like, here, give me $1 bazillion up front, and then it falls apart. You learn the first step, you get some confidence. You had me do stuff, and people were calling me, like, what do I do now?
Yep.
So would I have paid money for that first part? Sure. Now that I got people calling me.
What did I say before?
What?
Say hello to my little friend. Karma.
Yeah. Right. But you if you start this and you start getting people calling you, it'll be like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
What's the next step?
Yeah.
So
you could literally, actually, one of the name of the shows that we're going to have is where is it? You could do it in days, not months, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be doing that pretty soon.
I don't know. That's not believable.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So over and out. If you want to get more information, you can. The end of the show, we have a new jingle. Thanks to Peter. Thank you for the music. Very well done. You can reach us at info@flippinghouses.club, info@flippinghouses.club, or you can just go to flippinghouses.club. and go to the contact us page. I actually personally answer all those emails. So anything you send to me, I will answer your questions and help you best I can. Or just go to our flippinghouses.club page, and I have 10 videos that you can watch and shows you all the different ways that I buy houses, 7 different ways, and explains them and deal structure and all that kind of stuff. Which, Pete, we're going to change that pretty soon because I think that I've been informed that there's too much information there and people aren't actually going through all of it because it's just too much. So I think we're going to break it up into sections. Mm-hmm. So you'll still get it, but instead of getting it all at once, you'll get it over the course of a couple weeks.
Okay, too much at once?
Yeah, it's too much at once.
Okay.
So, but we'll see. For right now, it's there, so I advise that you go do it and before my geeks change it all. So, all right, Pete. So once again, I guess the show went from 45 minutes to an hour to now an hour and 10 minutes because that's what we do these days.
Supposed to be 45 minutes?
Yeah, when we first started. Well, it was supposed to be 30 minutes, but I don't think I can do anything
30
in
minutes.
30 minutes.
I think we should make it 110, an hour and 10.
An hour and 10 minutes? Too late. All right, over and out. See you next week.
Thanks for tuning in to the hottest real estate topics on the planet with Bill and Pete. If you want to continue learning how to buy and sell real estate without money or credit, head over to flippinghouses.club for some cutting-edge real estate wealth tools. Or contact us at info@flippinghouses.club.